Hello everyone, Bashar here. So we are together with another Lich introductory video. I do say Lich introductory video, but this doesn't have to necessarily be connected or concerning the Lich only. This is something a little bit more globally in Path of Exile. I am going to talk about Sigil of Power, right? I'm sure you have seen it, right? I'm sure you have seen some people have it. So, and you might have been puzzled because there is no gem to cut that gives you Sigil of Power. So how is it obtained? How to use it? And this is a rather simple video. So I will try to spice it up a little bit by telling you the sweet spot to reach for it. Right, let's get to it. So guys, I'm sure if you are if you like caster builds, when you are perusing the builds, I'm sure you have seen kind of everyone having Sigil of Power, but when you pull your gem collection out, there is no Sigil of Power to cut. So guys, Sigil of Power is an interesting thing. Sigil of Power is only obtained as an implicit skill granted you by the staff called Chiming Staff, right? There is no other way to obtain it. And as you know, the Wand and Scepter or the Wand and Focus or even the Wand and Shield combination quite surpasses staves. So what you should be doing is you should be using it in your secondary weapon set, right? Let me cast Sigil of Power here. And as you can see, the game automatically changes to the Chiming Staff when I do it, because I just don't have access to the skill in my primary weapon set. So the game says this guy is trying to use the Sigil of Power, so let me switch the weapon. And of course you will also have to wait for the weapon switch timer as well. So 0.25 seconds, which is a quarter of a second, plus your Sigil of Power's cast time. And so guys, I will do another video for that specifically. Again, a simple video, but when you have access to a skill only during with a certain weapon set, and you try to use that, it will automatically switch the weapon, right? And you can also force the game to use certain skills with a certain weapon set and other skills with another weapons set, or you could just let them be usable on both. Yeah, there is that. So for example, guys, my Essence Train I'm using on the primary weapon only. My Contagion I'm using on the primary weapon, right? I can just do this if I want. Dark Effigy is also on the primary weapon. Despair is on the secondary weapon. Blasphemy is on the primary weapon. Withering Presence on the primary weapon. We'll get to that, but as you can see, so I do have the sets, right? But for example, Sigil of Power, there is just I don't have an alternative, right? The others, I am telling the game to use this, use that, blah blah, right? As I said, I will do another video for that, so let's not get sidetracked. But for Sigil of Power, it has to change the weapon, and I was very relieved when I saw the game just automatically does it. So when you're in primary weapon set, you try to use Sigil of Power, the game doesn't give an error, right? It just automatically switches the weapon. So I was thinking, you have to switch the weapon and then use the Sigil of Power. There is no need. The game, as I said, automatically switches the weapon, but you do not save up the weapon swap time, which is a quarter of a second, right? So the use time for Sigil of Power is Sigil of Power's cast time plus a quarter second. So for me, it's 0.38 seconds, so it will be 0.63 seconds for me to use it. So that's how it's obtained, guys. And so what does it do? Let's take a look at it. What it does is it creates a sigil, right? And in the sigil, when you spend mana, when you spend half of your mana, you gain a stage, and per stage you will be getting some spell damage. I'm sure, as you can tell by now, this is meant for bosses. You do not do this when mapping, right? But when you're doing the bosses, you put this up, you stay inside, you cast your stuff, then you gain a stage. See? And it's maxed out, so I'm now getting 64% spell damage. this would be, around 13% damage up. It's not bad, right? It's something. So that's why people are using this, right? And doing quality on your chiming staff will improve the radius of the skill. Normally it's about 5 meters or something, I think, and it goes up to 5.8. Yeah, something like that, right? So you should do quality on your staff, right? That's the important part. So guys, up until this point, it's pretty simple, right? So I want to explain myself before I give you the trick. So this is somewhat simple to find out, right? Why am I doing a video for something as simple as this? So thing is, guys, this also sometimes happens to me. Sometimes I see something, I get curious about it, but I'm a little bit lazy to find out about it. But, it still puzzles you. That annoying feeling? So I am trying to help out my fellows that are in that position, right? You see Sigil of Power, you can't get Sigil of Power, you try to cut a few gems, it doesn't work, you're like, bah, and you just let it go, right? Yeah, so that's why I'm doing this video. So, and also, let's not keep the video that simple. I can give you a simple trick. So guys, the spell damage that you receive from Sigil of Power increases based on your Sigil of Power's level, right? So the highest Sigil of Power that you can receive from the chiming staff is level 19, right? It will require level 84. They have the implicits have the same level requirements with the skills themselves. So 18 skill level gem will require level 78, and therefore that, right, 19 level skill gem will require level 84, and there's that. As far as I know, there are no level 20 implicits in the game anywhere, right? So there are no level 90 requiring items. So the best you can get is 19, right? And at 19, the bonus is 14% per stage, going up to 56% when it's maxed out. So, and thing is, guys, Sigil of Power is an interesting skill. Let me go over it. So this is Sigil of Power is a spell, all right, but it doesn't belong to any school. It's not a physical skill. It's not a lightning skill. It's not a chaos skill. It's not a fire skill, lightning skill, whatever it is, right? It doesn't belong to a single school. But thing is, because it's a spell, all spell skills affects it, right? So if you go for all spell skills on your staff, right, and you probably will have all spell skills on your amulet, you can actually get more out of it. And the sweet spot to hit is 25 or 21, right? If your Sigil of Power is level 21, then you will have 15% spell damage per stage. And if your Sigil of Power is level 25, you will have 16% damage up per stage. 17 is just not reachable without gimping your character. So that's what you should be going for. As you can see in the current example, I have overpaid a little bit, right? I didn't need +6 spell skills because it overshoots, right? I mean, I have a level 18, I have 3 from here, that's 21, and 4 would have been sufficient here, which would have brought me to 25. So try to go for 25 or 21, I would say. So, for example, guys, 21 is very easy, right? You get a chiming staff with no skills on it, right? Level 18 chiming staff, not even 19. 18, which requires level 78, right? It grants you level 18 Sigil of Power, and you have a +3 amulet. That's 21 already, right? You don't have to do anything. But if you can, right, these are not that expensive. You can get a +4 spell skills, and also cast speed helps, right? I mean, if you are casting anything with the secondary weapon, so I'm casting a curse with my secondary weapon, and I'm casting Sigil of Power. The cast speed helps, but of course it's not very necessary. It can get very expensive, so you can go for either very high cast speed, so you can cast the Sigil and whatever skill that you cast with the secondary weapon fast, or you can go for a combination of +4 spell skills and cast speed, or you can just go for +4 spell skills, right? Anything in between is worthless, right? Do not go for +1, +2, +3 spell skills. Do not go for +5, +6, right? I mean, these are things that I found out after the fact, so I'm trying to, save you, a few exalted, maybe a divine. Yeah, so the sweet spot is, assuming you have a +3 spell skills amulet, you want to get a +4 all spell skills with as high cast speed as you can. The other stats don't really matter, right? The spell damage, the chaos damage, whatever it is. So yeah, that's how you get your hands on Sigil of Power, and that's how you utilize it. And as I said, do not use it when mapping. If you need to use it while mapping, then you need to make some changes to the character, because it will make the mapping too tedious, right? You put the sigil on, blah blah blah, right? So yeah, that's how Sigil of Power works, and I will see you in the last introductory Lich video, and then we'll get to the guide. See ya.